The implications of the report quotes to accelerate climate action, the consequences of changes can be already deployed fiscal, financial, institutional, and regulatory reforms, and by integrating climate action with macroeconomic policy. This is the goal of what we are doing today. Today's agenda includes critical presentations on the necessary reforms for enabling the business environment towards the green transition. We will hear from the HFTB, Irada, and other partners and experts about the efforts and plans. Today, we will also discuss the methodology and conclusions of the joint study by Irada and the AFTB titled Industry Challenges in Some Green Economic Related Fields. Agriculture and business, biofertilizer, and recycling of waste. Followed by a session during which we hope to receive your thoughts and questions on the study. A draft of the study can be found on Irada's website and social media pages, with the final version of the study to be published. We will start with the opening address by Her Excellency Dr. Hala Saeed, the Minister of Planning and Economic Development of the Arab Republic of Egypt. Delivered on behalf of the Minister by Dr. Hira Shahid, the Executive Director of Irada. Hira, please.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, it gives me great pleasure to be talking to you today on behalf of Her Excellency Dr. Hala Saeed. First, I welcome you all to the opening of the ceremony of the Business Enabling Environment for Green Economic Development Seminar. This is an extraordinary event organized in partnership with African Development Bank and Irada, the Egyptian Regulatory Forum, and Development Agency. It represents a significant stride toward sustainable and prosperous for the future. Also, it is linked to the Sustainable Development Strategy, Egypt Vision 2030. Acknowledge the critical role of green investment in fostering inclusive growth, job creation, and environmental sustainability. And we aim to increase the share of green projects in national investment plans to 50% by 2025. Under the framework of the National Structural Reform Program, the government has undertaken several significant steps that I would like to share with you. The role inside of the report. Furthermore, the government also prioritized advancing public-private partnership PPP, mainly through the Sovereign Fund of Egypt, which was created 3 years ago as a reliable mechanism for the government to put investment in domestic and foreign countries. The Sovereign Fund of Egypt primarily through its infrastructure and utilities sub-fund is luring investment opportunities for private sector participation across a variety of green activities, enabling our country to capitalize on the that lie within its abundant natural resources, strategic education, managed market, and enhanced infrastructure. And we continuously evaluate and refine our policies to address barriers and unlock the untapped potential within our green sector. That is why we aspire to gain comprehensive understanding of aspirations, obstacles, and prospects encountered by private sector operators, and I can see a few of them here. And we believe that through dialogue, collaboration, and knowledge sharing, we can forge innovative solutions and strategies and foster a conductive business environment for green investment. In that vein, the core objective of this seminar is to present the findings of the policy paper produced by IRADA and the African Development Bank, which sheds light on the industry challenges in agriculture and agribusiness, biofertilizers, new and renewable energy, ecotourism, and waste management recycling sector of the green economy. Indeed, this effort brings together prominent experts, the major public and private sector stakeholders engaged in green investment activities in Egypt. The diversity of expertise and perspective presented in this room holds immense value as we collectively wish for a sustainable development. The African Development Bank, renowned for its steadfast commitment to sustainable development, to provide an overview of funding instruments and relevant strategies. We eagerly anticipate gaining insights into their approaches to promote the business enabling environment and driving green economic development. Additionally, IRADA is a national event focused on regulatory reform and development, who showcases strategic vision and activity dedicated to enhancing the business environment for green investment in line with IRADA's vital role, streamlining regulations and creating a more investor-friendly landscape in Egypt. Finally, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all participants, particularly the African Development Bank and to Iraq. Let us embark on a journey of shared knowledge, collaboration, and action. Thank you. I wish you all productive and inspiring day.
Thank you, Dr. Hiba. Now, please welcome Mr. Abdulrahman Diaw, the country manager of the African Development Bank, the Egypt office.
This morning. Okay. Okay. I'd like to first of all thank the presence of the corporation. Director of the future development order, business ambassador, the chief of coordinator of Green Economic. Also our manager of the African Bank. So participant this morning. Also our colleagues from the ladies and gentlemen, the very good morning. I'm pleased to welcome you to the segment of the environment for green economic development organized by the African Development Bank, the Egyptian Regulatory I'm the Minister of Planning and Economic Development under the auspices of the International of Planning and Economic Development and one of the Excellency of Private and Social of International Cooperation. I would like to take a moment to thank them for their kindness and respect them and for having facilitated the organization. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change is today the foremost challenge of our time, making our collective action essential to curb it. In Africa, consequences of climate change are already being felt, manifesting in a range of natural disasters, including coral drought, rising sea level, and recurrent flood. These disasters badly undermine the economic establishment of the country, negatively impact livelihood, compromise public health, and limit educational opportunities. Recognizing the importance of the situation, the African Development Bank has made climate change an absolute priority. In this project, we aim to reduce poverty and enhance the living conditions of the African. To this end, the bank actively promote public and private capital investment initiatives and programs that foster economic and social development while addressing the challenge posed by climate change. In line with this commitment, the African Development Bank is collaborating with the government to promote green public and private investment and provide financial support to climate change. By integrating climate change objectives, operation, and strategy, the bank contributes to the sustainable solution for Africa's economic problems. Ladies and gentlemen, the Arab Republic of Egypt stands as a pioneer in the field of green economy in the African continent, serving as an example in terms of legislation and regulation aimed at improving business environment that encourages green projects and attract foreign investment in the sector. These initiatives include those led by the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development, the Ministry of International Cooperation, of course, we mentioned the master program, which is an institution supported by the leadership and initiative of Canada, the Ministry of Environment, and the Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energy. In line with our commitment to strengthen the collaboration with the Egyptian government, we have organized an important seminar which aims to present the outcome of a joint policy paper developed by the African Development Bank and Canada. This policy paper sheds light on the challenge facing specific sector related to the economy, including agriculture and agribusiness, biofertilizers, new and renewable energy, ecotourism, and waste recycling. Moreover, based on the paper's findings and recommendation, the seminar will explore inspiration, challenge, and opportunities for the private sector in Egypt to leverage and expand green investment. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to each of you for your participation in this event. I extend special thanks to my Excellency Dr. Hala Esai, the Minister of Planning and Economic Development, and Her Excellency Dr. Raja Al-Madan, Minister of Economic for the support provided to the state. I would like to acknowledge the exceptional effort of Dr. Heba, Executive Director of the Egyptian Regulatory Government Administration, Canada, for ensuring the success of this step. Furthermore, I commend the expertise of Dr. Mataya for delivering strategic policy paper and Dr. Amar Kasam, facilitating coordination with the bank and everyone. I thank you for your kind attention. I wish you a very interesting session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diaw. Now, showcasing the strategy of economic governance in Africa. Please welcome Dr. Kevin Lopila, Division Manager of Governance and Economic Reform at the AFDB.
Thank you. Good morning, distinguished government representative, member of the private sector community, Dr. Eba Shahem, Executive Director of the Egyptian Regulatory Reform and Development Activity, ERADA, Mr. Abdurrahman Diaw, Country Manager of the bank in Egypt, here, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, climate change stands as the most urgent crisis of our time, posing a grave threat to the delicate equilibrium of our planet. Restoring temperature and intensified storm, prolonged drought, rising sea level, and sudden flood. The repercussion of climate change include the loss of biodiversity, food insecurity, water scarcity, health risk, and alarming surge in poverty and displacement. Climate change is having a growing impact on the African continent, hitting out the most vulnerable. In fact, increasing temperature and sea level, changing precipitation patterns, and more extreme weather events are threatening human health, safety, and social economic development in Africa. Moreover, the rising demand for water, coupled with constrained and erratic supply, pose a significant risk of escalating conflict and displacement in the region. Despite the alarming challenge, African countries have shown remarkable commitment to driving the global climate agenda. This is evident through the impressive level of ratification of the Paris Agreement, with over 90% of African nations pledging their support. Moreover, many African countries have set ambitious goals to transition to green energy within a relatively short period of time. Egypt is among the nations that have been at the forefront of Africa's battle against climate change since the inception of the Paris Agreement. A prominent example of its endeavor include the contribution of the country to the establishment of the African Renewable Energy Initiative and the African Adaptation Initiative. Egypt's unwavering dedication to tackling climate change was showcased by its hosting of COP27 in November 2022, which convened state representatives, civil society organizations, youth, women, vulnerable groups, and private sector. This significant event acts as a catalyst, fostering the generation of pragmatic and attainable outcomes. Notably, participating countries reach a consensus on establishing funding arrangements, including the establishment of a dedicated fund specifically aimed at addressing loss and damage caused by climate change. Nevertheless, striking a harmonious balance between mitigation and adaptation remains a global imperative, and more effort should be done at the national, regional, and global stage. The African Development Bank is committed to driving the global climate agenda on the continent. We provide green financing, investing in renewable energy projects, and supporting climate resilience and adaptation efforts. The FDB is allocating 67% of its climate financing funding to adaptation. We work closely with government to develop green policies and regulation, as we are doing for ERADA, while also engaging the private sector to mobilize investment and promote sustainable practice. Due to the prominent role state and government institutions play in the fight against climate change, good governance is a crucial element in advancing the green agenda. The bank launched its strategy for economic governance in Africa, called SEGA 2021-2025, in 2021 as a comprehensive initiative to enhance economic governance in African nations, focused on strengthening institutional framework for public financial management, transparency, accountability, government effectiveness and enabling business environment and corruption prevention. The SEGA, as we call it, aligning with the bank commitment to achieving the sustainable development goals and transformational objectives of the African Union Agenda 2063, which strives for inclusive, sustainable, and structurally transformed economy. One of the key challenges for the next decade is how to facilitate green transition. Governments are expected to scale up public investment, buffer the cost of more severe weather-related shock, and deploy other fiscal tools in a way that facilitate a smooth private sector transition. Adapting to and mitigating the effect of climate change has important implications for fiscal sustainability. For instance of this, the bank governance strategy, SEGA, places significant emphasis on climate change through promoting fiscal policies that incentivize green transition and the development of institutional capacity in regulatory framework that attract private sector investment and encourage participation in greener and climate resilient infrastructure and resource extraction. The emphasis on climate change aligns with the bank commitment to addressing the urgent challenge of environmental sustainability and promoting resilient and sustainable economic activity in Africa. The African Development Bank is providing significant support to Egypt's green economy through its policy-based operation and investment project. Just last year, the bank extended to the Arab Republic of Egypt a loan of 271 million US dollar as a budget under the term of the Food Security and Economic Resilience Support Program. The goal of this program is to promote green development and enhance private sector resilience. Indeed, the program supports incentives to encourage the private sector to invest in the generation of green hydrogen, and which could be used for generation of green electricity, and is critical input to produce green ammonia for fertilizer. Investment in green hydrogen will create decent jobs and has a cascading positive effect on agriculture productivity. Right now, the bank is also appraising a new program called Competitiveness and Green Economic Diversification. This program will be designed to support the Egyptian government in the effort to foster economic diversification driven by green growth. Through the budget support that we are raising right now, the bank aims to contribute to promote sustainable economic activity in Egypt, paving the way for a more resilient economy. In conclusion, distinguished guests, I would like to thank Egyptian authority for their hospitality, the high quality discussion we have had Cairo this past week, for the strong relationship that we have as African Development Bank and the government of Egypt. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lumina. Now, for a short video on Irada's mandate and achievement, followed by a brief note by Dr. Hiba Shahid, the Executive Director of Irada. Now, please welcome Mr. Ambassador Hisham Bed for a presentation on Egypt's Smart Green Governance Initiative.
Morning, Excellencies. Thank you to Professor Shaheen Irada for inviting me and my delegation today, the group. I want to thank the African Development Bank and Irada for hosting this very important conference. As you can see, it's too early in the morning to do speeches or lectures, but the importance of this conference is that it allows, it says, enabling environment for economic development. And I think this is something that we all are here gathered to see how we can do that. But before that, we want to tell you that, of course, we cannot be here gathered with the African Development Bank and given Egypt's foreign policy importance towards Africa. And I'm glad to see my good brother, Ambassador Omar Relations Minister, here with us today. Last year, as you all know, Egypt hosted COP27 on behalf of Africa and advocated strongly African interests. It was a very successful conference, not an easy one, but a very successful one. And we managed, given President Sisi's leadership, to gain, for the first time after 30 years of negotiations, the loss and damage fund. For 30 years, the African countries, developing countries, have been asking for this loss and damage fund, but we were not able to get it. Finally, we got it. Also, it's not a coincidence that a few weeks ago, we hosted in Sharm el-Sheikh the annual conference of the African Development Bank. And today, for the first time, Iran and the Ministry of Planning, along with the African Development Bank, for the first time, are joining together in this conference, producing papers, etc. And Dr. Khalid Said, Minister of Planning and Economic Development, is very glad and views this as a very important landmark in our cooperation with the African Development Bank, which want to pursue further with concrete and deliverable objectives. Because we are here for tangible results. We're not here for talk. President Sisi said that the COP27 was not for talk, but for implementation. When the president went to the African Development Bank, he made clear in his speech, talked clearly about financing. It is, as you'll agree with me, in a world of changing situation, a world of crises, food crises, climate crises, all the wars, etc. We cannot be having everything business as usual. The financing remains as usual. We need to find a new paradigm, a new architecture for financing developing countries, for financing Africa. Things related to hybrid financing, innovative financing, stock exchange, anything related to buyback, debt buyback. But today I want to focus with you on something that we have done as Egypt, given COP, and that we have continued this, which is this Green Smart Initiative. It's a presidential initiative with a decree of the Prime Minister, and it answers one question, the question that all of you are here today. What does the COP process mean for us? What does it mean for the ordinary African citizen, for the ordinary Egyptian lady in Mars Matruh, in Iskandria, in Al Asyut? What difference does it make? And this initiative that we've implemented last year because of the COP and bore its fruits has been hailed by the UN as one of the most successful outcomes of COP27. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 months ago, during the Arab League Sustainability Day, it was awarded one of the prime prizes to Dr. Khaled because of the initiative. And 2 weeks ago, the Arab League had a special meeting of the Arab League to discuss and to hear this initiative for Green Smart projects as a model, as a pioneer, as unprecedented initiative. No other country around the world, whether in the Western world, in developing countries, presented it. In short, and I hope that we can share with you this presentation by our colleagues, but in short, it opened the ground, it opened through a link to all 100 million Egyptians to present projects. What we're discussing here and what the investors here are saying, okay, we want to encourage and enable green business. Well, we've done that. When we opened last year, in 2 months, we received 6,300 green smart projects. Green, environmental friendly, clean energy, renewable, solar, wind, low emissions, waste management, recyclable waste, etc. Smart basically means technology, any kind of rudimentary technology, even if it's an application on the iPhone, even if it's the Internet of Things, etc. We got 6,100 from all of Egypt, equally divided. 6 each governorate in the 27 governorates of Egypt presents 6 projects in the 6 categories we have defined: large projects, small, medium, startups, nonprofit, and women. We've dedicated a special category for women to enable and to empower women. And we were lucky to receive over 1,000 projects presented from women all over Egypt. And later, maybe if we have time, we can tell you about the winner, the ladies, the 3 ladies who won nationally. What did they do? But as a quick appetizer, the lady from Alexandria, Mona Tuman, who won from the first prize, the women category, received 750,000 pounds, and now has a project which is up and going. Took the remains of computers that you have at home and all the electronic things which could be harmful to the environment, and she made machines out of them. The equivalent machine on the market is 80,000 Egyptian pounds. She's selling them today for 20,000 Egyptian pounds. Therefore, we gain with the environment. She made money, and everyone benefited. We have one of our winners here, Mohammed from Engazet, who in a few minutes also I'll let him showcase. Is there. He began with the projects about $6 or $7 million, and today, mashallah, I don't want to say how much, but he's been very successful in this. And so the experience that we've had, what did we do? We got everyone involved, as they say with the UN, leaving no one behind, literally. When we said we're bringing COP home, we brought it every home. So the winners came from all the provinces, from Wadi Gadid, from Luxor, from Aswan. Cairo won 1 project. The other provinces, of course, the 18 finalists were awarded, were taken to COP, and were showcased all over the world, and we were able to connect them with financial institutions. The European Bank, IBRD, adopted 6 of the 18. The World Bank is working with 1 or 2. The FAO is working with some. UN Women is working with someone. And so today, we hope that also with the African Development Bank and with the involvement of everyone here, we can bring new light, and perhaps not only for last year, but this year also. We opened the door this year, in 1st of April till the end of June, to submit projects which are really smart again, and we've been receiving from many parts of Egypt. Now, this is an initiative, as I said, unprecedented because it involves everyone. And it's based on localization. Localization of economic sustainability. It's sustainability. I was asked by many people, what does sustainability mean? What does economic sustainability? For the normal man in the street, when we tell them these big, huge words, economic sustainability, what does it mean for me? Then for you, it's very important to serve the environment. It's very important to avoid the emissions. But for you, your success is when you present a project which you can save money, and in saving through using the tools of climate solutions, through solutions. So it's not a matter of that I'm doing this for humanity. It's important for the environment, for my kids, for the future generations. Yes, that's all good. It's not enough. You have to make business. You have to make money. And therefore, one of the criteria for selection products is they have to be bankable, they have to be scalable, they have to have an impact on society. And therefore, this new modus apparatus, operation mode, new one, that if you tell the people, I'm doing this not because of you, no, but because you can make money. If you reduce the energy costs by using solar, and if you do recycling of the waste, which is many projects have done that, then you reduce the amount of money cost 30, 40%. You make more money, plus helping the environment. So the byproducts are there. So I couldn't have done it, of course, without my colleague and partner, Dr. Khalid Mustafa, the first Undersecretary of Ministry of Planning. I insisted that we say, we always do this together, this do. I speak, say all the things, then he comes in with the fundamental things. So I want you at least to come and say a few words, 2, 3 lines, please. And then afterwards, we're going to let Mohammed just say 1 minute of as a project, because I can speak to you until you're blue in the face, but he's the one who delivered. He's one of the examples of the winners of this And we hope that by the end of this conference, we can reach a deal with the African Development Bank, how to promote this initiative, how to hail it, at least distribute it to the member states as a model for economic sustainability from a developing country, to include everyone, and at the same time to try to find financing for the projects which have won last year and for the ones who are going to be gaining this year, because the winning projects of the competition, and it is a competition for the best of the best in all of Egypt, are going to be taken to Dubai, to the COP27, and then the one afterwards in Australia, and the one afterwards in Brazil. So it's an ongoing, sustainable, and this is the true meaning of Summit. Dr. Khaled.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Ambassador Hisham, for your kind introduction. Well, actually, Ambassador Hisham said it all, so it's very hard to speak after him. But what I can what I can share with you is that how we see this. We see it as winning for everybody. Government generates solutions instead of being just on the reactive end. On the reactive end of being impacted by the climate change, on the reactive end by discussing with FDIs how they can help us and so on. No, we take the initiative, we are proactive, and we have solutions. Also, the population is now engaged and they have opportunities to either start a business, and some actually of the participants didn't plan in the first place to start a business, but found a great opportunity through the support of the initiative that they start their own business and they have an entity that now can generate revenue for them. Or if they have an entity already, they can grow that entity, they can move from local market to national market to international market. Maybe Ahmed will tell us about this experience in a better detail. The other thing I would like to emphasize is that we are very keen to transfer this experience to Africa. We introduced the initiative under COP27, where Egypt was representing Africa. We want to continue to do that. We want to continue and transfer this initiative, this approach where you can engage everybody, you can have an all-inclusive solution to face and actually turn the challenges of climate change into opportunities. We would like to transfer this to Africa, and we are able and ready to do that. So we are open for any African countries or with the cooperation with AFDB to transfer that to Africa. In fact, it's great to be here with Irada today because Irada has been taking a very important role and playing a very important role in enhancing the regulatory environment in Egypt. And now we would like them to support us also with some of the challenges that we found out throughout the competition, throughout the initiative, how we can even enhance it more for even greener economy and to accelerate in certain areas. So it's very important that we share the initiative with you today. But again, as I said, Ambassador Hisham said it all, and we would rather leave you with a live example of one of the participants, one of the winners, so that you get a better flavor of what we have been trying to do. Thank you very much.
In 2 minutes, because they warned us that they're going to kick us out. So,
Ambassador Hisham, thank you, Engineer Khaled. Dr. Heba, thank you very much. My name is Mohammed Al-Damardesh. I'm the co-founder of Ingazet. We are a sustainable utility company. We develop, operate, and implement sustainable utility solutions, energy for water, basically for agriculture. And that's the key. We call it the Sustainable Agri-Village Project. I come from the time where sustainability was a luxury, an unaffordable luxury. As we speak right now, I mean, to deliver water from sustainable resources of energy, this means economics. This means resilience, adaptation for small farmers. We were successful to develop and implement a $10 million investment in Al Wadi Jadid, Western Desert in Egypt, and we believe that we share with Africa a lot, Saharan, Sub-Saharan Africa. We believe this is the time where we extend this onwards to de-risk small and medium-sized farmers,
to deliver sustainable utilities with no burdens, no capital expense, no operational burdens. We de-risk it totally. We were very privileged to be recognized by the Ministry of Planning and the government in the COP27, and from here we want to take this further to whole Africa. Thank you very, very much.
So again, we hope the organizers can distribute the presentation to everyone of the initiative and the link, and then we can see perhaps how we can go forward with this. Everything has to begin on the ground. We'll talk about high policies to create an ecosystem. Policy is important, legislation is important, but if you don't begin on the ground, getting the people involved, showing them their interest. Like Adam Smith said, the wealth of nations begin the invisible hand. The people start contributing, voting with their projects. That's what they did last year. They entered from all over. I just want to share with you one last 30 seconds. Yeah, Dr. Aheda, came here to make sure that I got the closer she gets, I know the time. I have about 30 seconds now. The lady who presented in Fayoum, there were about a community of poor women. So she got these 500 women who were there, not having jobs. The palm trees, you have the, what you call them, the leaves, not the leaves, the things of the palm trees, you know, the things that you burn. There's no other solution to do with them except you burn them. It's like the big leaf of the palm trees, ash. And so what she did, she took them and she gave these to these women, and they've created opportunity, created baskets, decorated materials, stuff like that. They sold them in the market. Therefore, the 500 women are now gaining money, and these palm tree remains are not burned because they used to burn them. The only way to get rid of them was burning. So you save the environment, you make money from them. These are some of them. That's why it's not projects for the sake of projects. It's solutions that serve the local. Each governor presents projects according to the needs, requirements, challenges, problems that government in its locality. That's why localization and on the ground is the theme, key, and the future of sustainability. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Hisham. Now, with a brief note, thank you, Ambassador Hisham Badr. Now, with a brief note by Dr. Heba Shahid, the Executive Director of IRADA.
Sorry, you're going to see me a lot today. I'm very honored today for this project. I would like to first thank my team, IRADA team. IRADA team, because of their efforts and achievement in promoting economic growth and sustainable development in Egypt. And really thank you for staying overnight, some days, and over the weekends. I thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Nobila. Thank you, Mr. Dao, Dr. Kassab, Dr. Siham, Dr. Jihan. I thank you all for your effort, for seeking out to come to IRADA and to the government of Egypt with open arms, with an open mind for new innovative ideas to enable business solutions for the green economy. Thank you, Dr. Mona Yahya, for all the effort you had done for the last 3-4 months in order to have this policy paper to come and see the light. The policy paper is actually on IRADA's webpage, on the African webpage, and it's not the final yet. We're waiting for the discussion of today's seminar to make it final. It's all about, as Ambassador Hisham was saying, it's all about solutions, and it's not only recommendations that it's not being able to be applicable, but however, solutions to be applicable in Egypt. As you have seen in the previous video, IRADA was established in 2008, and that's a very small brief about IRADA for those who doesn't know. with the aim of reforming the Egyptian legislative and regulatory framework through enhancing policy making, stimulating businesses, encouraging investment. Through our work, we place special attention to promoting the green economy. This started with our first presentation to the Prime Minister in 2022 about the green economy in February. And that was before the COP27. We had had many talks with investors, experts, and international organizations, including, of course, our colleagues in the African Bank, to discuss how we can best deploy green intellectual property to improve the business ecosystem and support climate action. Our focus on green projects can be seen across much of our work, whether directly or indirectly. To give you a quick snapshot, during the first quarter of this year, we had developed a paper on food security, contributed to the discussion in the Egyptian to the Egyptian Senate House on food security and on carbon markets versus carbon tax, and held various talks and consultation with our partners on sustainable tourism, exports of agricultural products, waste management, sustainable transportation, all the regulations you've seen for green hydrogen in Egypt. The focus on the green economy, while dominant in our work, is only part of our large mandate. One of our noticeable achievements includes contribution in the introduction of the golden license. This idea came from the team of Irada, the one that you have seen the Prime Minister distributing and giving for the big investor, national and strategic investors in Egypt. And we are very proud in Egypt that we're giving incentives in that sense. In addition to that, we also specified a set of recommendations to His Excellency the Prime Minister, which include some green activities under the license eligible subsectors, and all these changes are happening after the golden license to open it up, to make changes for the investment law, and we are part of this contribution. It's an instrument in attracting greenfield indeed, the golden license. And we continue to this day to follow up on challenges and present recommendations. And that's what I always say to my team. It is not about changing the regulation, it's about actually the impact of these regulations and assessing the economic impact of this regulation. If it's positive, then we are happy. If it's not, then we have to think about even our recommendations. Another achievement that we are proud of is the contribution of Irada with various ministries and institutions to prepare Egypt's national strategy for intellectual property rights. The first of its kind strategy that aims to consolidate national efforts of protecting intellectual property and be aligned with international standards. And we're honored to have a side event during the COP Sharm el-Sheikh on intellectual property innovation and green economy. We at Irada are also keen on establishing and strengthening collaboration with international partners. Recently, we co-hosted the South Korean delegation to discuss the ecosystem for startups and innovation in Egypt. Through our joint consultant, we identified 5 axes for achievement: developing and enhancing the National Entrepreneurship Support Plan, establish a national fund aimed at financing and supporting startups, expanding business accelerators and incubators, and having one platform, which actually the regulation has been issued, the decree has been issued by the Prime Minister last month. So we have now one platform for startup. Today, we are honored to collaborate with the African Development Bank on this critical project. Egypt Vision 2030 and Africa Agenda 2063 are both aligned in the prioritization of inclusive, green, and climate-friendly economic development. Transitioning to a green economy is no longer a luxury, and we all know that, but a but a necessity for survival and growth. In enabling environment, regulations is the bedrock foundation on which such development must be built. Understanding the needs, challenges of stakeholder, private sector, as well as learning from other experiences and best practices are the first steps towards evidence-based policymaking. And as I said before, I really urge you all to have a look to this paper and to have your insights. And I welcome you all today to listen to the result of this study, which focus on critical sectors of the green economy. As I said, agribusiness, eco-tourism, waste management, biofertilizer, and renewable energy. We are very eager to receive your comments and questions to further improve our work. And ERADA is finally committed to creating a more business-friendly environment that encourages investment, promote economic development, and address the challenges of climate change. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hiba, for this insightful note. Now we'll have a 5-minute coffee break. So we will resume our event after the coffee break in 5 minutes. Also, after the coffee break, we will have a group photo. Please be keen to be representative in this photo. Thank you. financial instruments for green investments.
I'm very happy to be with you today. I'm Ahmad Estef. I'm the original person to the governance coordinator. My intervention is on green investment, African Development Bank strategy, financial investment. The banking, the African Development Bank have a country strategy paper that shape our intervention in the country called CSP, covered the period 2020-2026. And the main objective of the CSP for Egypt is to build a competitive and resilient economy through private sector development and addressing the country's vulnerability to climate change. We have two main priorities, and these two priorities shape also all our intervention in the country, investment projects, and other type of intervention that I will share with you here. So priority area one is strengthening the country's competitiveness to support robust private sector-led growth and job creation. And the second priority is building resilience to achieve food and water security and energy efficiency. The bank in Egypt, our current portfolio is about 1.28 billion US dollars. About 64% of our is sovereign. Sovereign, it means public projects, funding, financing to the government, and about 36% non-sovereign private sector. We have about 20 operations, ongoing operations. Energy is the first sector. The second sector is food security, especially our intervention with a budget support last year for food security and economic resilience support program. Then finance, agriculture, transport, and water. These are the main intervention sectors of the bank in Egypt. The main global strategy of the bank that show us the way to take for our different investments. It's called Climate and Green Growth Strategic Framework, approved 4 years ago. The main objective of this strategy is a climate resilient, low carbon, green, inclusive, integrated, and prosperous Africa, justly transformed for the benefit of all Africans. What is the target? Our target with this strategy is to enable the bank to fully align operations with the goals of the Paris Agreement, 100% alignment of new operations with BB1 on mitigation, BB2, that is like the goals of the Paris Agreement, BB2 adaptation, BB3 climate finance by December 2023, and 100% aligned with the remaining building blocks, BB4 on country strategy, BB5 on reporting, and BB6 on the alignment of internal activities by December 2025. This is our main target for achieving the principles of Paris Agreement. Then financing. What are our main instruments? Climate Facility, ICF. So ICF focuses on building the environment